Live from Studio B and KPRC2. Houston Life starts now.
The Houston Zoo is celebrating 100 years, and of course, we are live at the zoo to help celebrate. Welcome to a very special edition of Houston Life on this Friday, April 29th, 2022. I'm Derek Shore.
And I'm Chow Win, filling in for the fabulous Courtney Zaval. It's a pleasure to be here today.
And Chow Win, it's a pleasure having you here. You know Chow from watching her on television for years now. You are at the Houston Area Women's Center. And what better day to join us at the zoo celebrating their 100th anniversary.
That's right, a centennial party. I brought the kids, I brought Jay, and we're going to have a good time today.
Well, and so many memories here at the zoo. I feel like it is one of our favorite places because many of us connected to times we've enjoyed with family and friends. We're here above the historic reflection pond, surrounded by trees that are as old as the zoo, 100 years old. And this is just the beginning, Chow, because tomorrow the zoo will be hosting this very big 100th birthday bash.
And everyone's invited. Here's a quick look at all the things that are happening. You can see keeper chats and zoo trivia. You can build a birdhouse. There's live ice carving. That's awesome. Family-friendly entertainment. That's what I love. You know, I took my kids here for years when they were kids.
There's something for everyone, really. The free cookies on that list, by the way, I've got my eyes on that. This just scratches the surface. There is so much more. We will have Jackie Wallace from the zoo on set in just a moment to give us the 411 on the party details and how all of us can stop by and take part.
Well, I hope everybody's ready for their walking shoes. You know, the zoo has a lot of space here and a lot of things to do. We are going to take you all over this incredible map of zoo animals today.
Yeah, we certainly will. Our schedule is packed. We're going to take you live from the elephant habitat, African forest, the small cats exhibit. We'll meet some tortoise friends, Chow, and we also have, of course, some surprise animal visitors on set.
And right now, Joe Sam is with one of my favorite animals, those long-necked giraffes, where he's going to get up close and personal a little later on. He's already feeding them.
Oh my gosh, look at that. This is one of my favorite things to do at the zoo. Also, Lauren Kelly is set up at the Asian elephant habitat. We are about to check in with Lauren in just a moment. But first, today is all about honoring the zoo and its history here in Houston.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at how the zoo has changed over the last 100 years and it particularly expanded. Take a look at that old photo. Wow, those are awesome pictures of the photo of the elephant exhibit over the years.
Yeah, and you know, our friends here at the zoo, they really dug through the archives to find all these historic photos. We can see that this photo right here, look at these children watching this elephant. We can see what it looks like today now as we hand it off to Lauren Kelly. Lauren, how's it going out there?
You guys, I made some really light and slim friends today. They're already in the water. They're ready for hot girl and guy summer right here. We're in the Asian elephants. I didn't know if you guys knew this, but everybody gets hot. The elephants get hot. That's why they like to take a dip in the water. They love to be in the pool. Kristen Wendell, you are the elephant keeper here. These guys are so much fun to watch. Definitely a family favorite. First of all, who do we got in the pool?
Right now we have some of our younger males. Baylor's the one closest to us. He's taking the deepest dive right now. His brother Duncan is in the back, and then Tucker is kind of hanging back. It looks like he doesn't quite want to get in the water yet, but he's drinking on the edge of the pool.
So what does the other zookeeper pass, and then what are they eating?
Right now they're eating apples, so apples are a really good thing for the pool because they float, and these guys will go diving in. They like to bob for apples.
Hey, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, right?
They get about 80 pounds of apples a day, so they should avoid the doctor a lot.
Here's a silly question. Do elephants know how to swim? I mean, they don't float, right?
Actually, they do float, so they're naturally buoyant, even though they're so large. So Tucker back there is our heaviest in the yard. He's a little over 10,000 pounds. They're naturally buoyant, so they actually float really well. This pool gets over 10 feet deep in the front part, so when they're fully submerged underwater, they're actually swimming and doing a dog paddle.
So they can, okay, that was my question. They can dog paddle to the side or this little ramp right here, they kind of come up and post up on this?
They can. They'll put their front feet on this front part, but it's actually 3 different levels, so they can get in as much as they want. Sometimes they'll stay on the edge like Duncan's doing and just get a little bit in, and then sometimes they like to deep dive right down there at the front.
Okay, one other question here. These are such big guys. What is the temperature of this water? How do they stay cool?
It actually stays pretty cool, so I think it's around the 80s or 90s, but these guys actually, they stay cool by dusting themselves. So what they'll do is as soon as they get out of this water, they're going to go throw sand and dirt on themselves. So you can see Tucker's really dirty back there. That actually protects their skin and helps them from getting sunburn and from bugs biting. So they stay cool by dipping in and then covering themselves in dirt.
Wow, you learn a bunch of new things every time you come to the zoo. Kristen, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
We definitely make some new friends. I'm going to toss it back to Derek and Chow right now. These guys are just so adorable. You got to bring the family out to see them. And of course, the babies are on the other side as well, right?
Correct. Tomorrow, during our centennial party, we're going to actually give watermelons to all the females and the babies in our other yard. So come out and see them tomorrow.
Apples and watermelons and elephants. You can't get much better than that.
That is so cool, Lauren. And
So
who knew?
cute.
I didn't realize that elephants are buoyant. Despite their size, they can float in the water. Very cool.
And they like the water a lot.
Exactly.
They like it. Okay, Lauren, we'll see you in just a bit. Thank
Bye.
you for that. Well, of course, Chow, the best part about coming to the zoo is meeting some of the residents, the animals here.
That's the neatest part. And joining us now is zookeeper Natalie Jones, who has a prehistoric friend for us. This is something that didn't roll off my tongue until today, a Chakwala.
Yes, he's a San Esteban Chakwala. His name's Cosmo. So he's been a resident here at the zoo for quite a while. He's going to be 12 years old this year.
12 years old. Okay, so what's the life expectancy of a Chakwala?
So these guys can live quite a while. We're looking at probably 20 to 30 years.
And he seems really friendly, like he's so calm and he's got a squishy belly.
He is very calm. So we take him out on a regular basis and do lots of training with him for him to meet people. So he's pretty used to this. He goes out pretty regularly with us.
He's calm and he has a squishy belly. For a second, I thought you were talking about me, Chow. And tell us, what does he primarily eat?
So he primarily eats vegetables. He gets a salad 3 times a week, and he really loves the lettuce.
Ooh, a healthy Chakwala. And how does he sleep?
So he sleeps pretty much just like this. He kind of just hangs out and goes to bed in his little house that he has. It's kind of a dark cave area. That's what they would do in the wild.
Okay, and this little guy, Cosmo, Natalie, he's just one of a handful of animals we'll be meeting throughout today's show. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So we have 4 kiddos for you guys to meet today, and they're very excited to come out. Most of our ambassadors really enjoy getting out, so.
Okay, very, very nice. Well, Natalie Jones, it's great to see you, and we can't wait to see who else you're going to introduce us to a little later on.
Yeah, we'll be seeing Natalie all hour.
All hour. And Cosmo, nice to meet you, buddy.
Bye, Cosmo. I love his
calm
claws.
with a squishy belly. All right, still to come on Houston Life, the unofficial zoo party planner, Jackie Wallace, the one and only. She will join us live. There she is, from free goodie bags to new exhibits. What else your family can expect at the big party?
Who doesn't love a free goodie bag?
Right?
And we went out at sunrise to see if we could spot a rare endangered animal, see how the Houston Zoo is trying to save it before it vanishes forever. Look how cool that is. Houston Life will be right back.
Hey, what's up? This is Bun B, and I just want to send a happy birthday shout out to the Houston Zoo. 100 years is not a light thing to do, so congratulations, you guys. Here's to another 100.
Oh, that is so cool. Welcome back to Houston Life with Bun B.
That's a nice little shout out from Bun B,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, totally. So cool.
So welcome back to Houston Life. Today is all about celebrating the zoo's 100th birthday. Can you believe it, Chow?
Yeah, I can't, but take a look. This is a live look from one of the cams at the entrance honoring the zoo and its birthday. People are out today.
Yeah, we are looking forward to the zoo's future while honoring its past. Now take a look at how the entrance has changed over the years. These are some pretty cool historic photos we have for our viewers, Chow.
Yeah, over the years, it started in 1922 and just went on and on. grown and progressed and improved over the years. It's celebrating its big 100th anniversary with a big party that culminates tomorrow.
Yeah, they say it's going to be one wild party. Get it? Get it? Jackie Wallace, the zoo's Senior Director of Public Affairs, Public Relations, is joining us now with more on what we can expect this weekend. And Jackie, I know the big official celebration starts tomorrow, but today the zoo is buzzing. You can tell people just have this sense of joy when they walk through those gates.
We are getting ready to party, and I think you've met some of our party animals. We've got more coming, but yes, people are just excited to be here. We are seeing, signage go up, new merchandise populate into the stores. We're getting ready for a big party.
Yeah, it looks like over the years this zoo has gotten bigger and bigger, not only in space and size, but animals.
It has. So we started in 1922 with a lone bison named Earl. Earl was a part of a conservation effort by the U.S. government to introduce the bison to Americans. So they were declining in population in the Great Plains back then, and so the government rallied up some and took them to cities all over the country, and that's where we started.
That is such
100 years ago.
What a cool story to learn all about Earl and the impact on the zoo, Jackie. Obviously, this is such a great gathering place for families to learn about animals and conservation, but the zoo's impact reaches far beyond Houston.
It sure does. We are saving animals all over the world, and just by coming to visit, our guests are having an impact as well. We are partnering with over 16 countries, partners all over the world, from Madagascar to Borneo to Pontinal, and opening soon, Galapagos. We've been in the Galapagos for decades working to help save animals there, and we're going to show you how we do it early next year.
That's one of the coolest places in the whole wide world. I went there many, many years ago. You've got some new exhibits, and you've got a lot of things going on for tomorrow. A big family party with festivities, animals, things.
Yeah.
Carved ice.
Ice carving.
Ice cream.
Yeah. When guests first enter the zoo tomorrow, they are going to be greeted with a massive celebration. We have animals they can meet, like our friend Cosmo, as well as stilt walkers. And then at 10 o'clock right here on this stage, we're hosting a little moment with some speeches celebrating our 100 years. And then all day long, we have keeper chats every 30 minutes throughout the zoo, an ice carving, some birdhouses being made, a sweet treat. It's going to be a really, really great day.
Well, and it's also so cool, Jackie, to watch the evolution of the zoo. We just showed some video a moment ago of the Galapagos exhibit. This has been underway now for quite some time. I know it's scheduled to open next year,
yes.
But even in the past few years, there have been so many new things for people to come and experience and enjoy.
We really have. We've put a concerted effort in really rehabilitating this 100-year-old facility. It's not the same zoo as it was even when we were children, and so we really want people to come back and see what we've done to change. From the Texas wetlands, which we opened in 2019, we opened the South America's Pontinal in 2020, where you can see jaguars and giant river otters. We introduced those to Zach Lashway this morning, but it's just a really fantastic new space. Nothing like what you think of when you think of a zoo.
Yeah,
really an experience.
I love that you can see things, but you can learn too.
You can learn how you can do what you can do to help save animals in the wild, whether that's switching to reusable plastic bottles or a reusable grocery bag. That really makes an impact on animals.
Yeah, and the things we do today here in our own backyard can have a global impact. Jackie Wallace, it's great to see you. Yeah. We're going to see you a little bit later on today's show. We're going to try out some fun activities, Chow.
Yep.
I know you're always up for a good time. And if you all would like to learn more about what is happening at the zoo tomorrow, plus how you can donate to the wildlife campaign, you can visit the zoo's website, houstonzoo.org.
So exciting.
All right, coming up on Houston Life, as part of the Centennial Celebration, your family can build a birdhouse at the zoo. We are told kids can do it, Chow, but can we?
I think we can. You build it, I'll paint it.
Okay, well, I think it's going to be a little bit of a Houston Life challenge, so we're looking forward to that coming up later on.
And next, it is going to be feeding time. Joe Sam is standing by with the tasty snacks, that awesome lettuce for the giraffes, that and so much more when Houston Life returns.
Hi Houston, I'm Kate Upton.
Hey, I'm Justin Verlander.
And we want to wish you a happy birthday. Happy 100th birthday.
See, even some of Houston's most popular and known celebrities love to play with the giraffes and feed them.
Yeah, excuse me, Justin Verlander, Kate Upton, thank you so much for that birthday shout out to the zoo.
I'm sure they brought their baby too. So.
I think maybe.
I know, well, the zoo is so cool, and one of the best attractions are the giraffes. I used to take my kids all the time. We'd wait in line, pay the few dollars, give them the lettuce.
Feeding the giraffes is a must stop at the zoo. I think Joe Sam is lucky enough to be hanging out with the giraffes right at this moment. Joe, I hope they're hungry.
Oh, he's got a bunch.
They are hungry, Derek and Chow. You can see I have my head of lettuce ready to feed the giraffes. It's one of the most popular exhibits that you can come and do here with your family, feeding them and loving on them as well. And they are welcoming everybody here to do that. We're talking to Heather Johnson right now, the Giraffe Keeper. She's been feeding Mr. What's his name here?
Joshua. His name is Joshua.
Joshua, and he's one of the tallest ones here, right?
He's one of our tallest giraffes here, yes. So Joshua here is our oldest adult male giraffe that we have. Fully grown Maasai giraffes like Joshua here can be anywhere from 16 to 18 feet tall, which is really tall. This guy also has a really long black tongue.
Yes.
You can see it's about 18 inches long here. We'll get him to stick it out.
There it goes.
You go.
They're hungry.
Yes, so that tongue is prehensile. That's a fancy way of saying that giraffes like Joshua here use their tongue just like you and I use our hands and our fingers. So he's able to grab that lettuce leaf right out of our hands there.
And they're really strong too. Even when I try and hold on to it, look at that.
Yeah, it's very, very strong. And they also have that black color on their tongue for a reason. It's actually a form of sunscreen.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, giraffes are what we call browsers. That means they're eating from the trees all day long, so that tongue would be hanging out in that hot African sun. For example, Joshua here, a Maasai giraffe, would be found in the wild in Kenya. So that dark pigmentation helps protect him from getting a sunburn on his tongue.
This is really cool. And unlike humans, they don't really need water to survive for that long,
Correct.
right? How long do they go without water?
So they can go quite a while without water. And when they do drink, they actually have to bend their front legs down so they don't get a blood rush to their head.
Oh, wow.
Because they've got enormous necks there. Those necks are going to be around 6.5 to 7 feet in length. And a fun fact, these guys have the same number of neck bones in their neck as you and I do.
Wow. Yep. What's the times that people can come and check them out for the celebration?
That's a great question. So these guys, you can see them at our 10:30 a.m. Keeper Chat. You can learn all about them. And if you want to get up close and personal, especially with Joshua here, that's going to be at 11 and 2 p.m.
Oh, wow. We're going to get ready to send things back to them. Look at this here. He's ready to eat, you guys. He is hungry. Derek and Chow, this is a really amazing experience. We want everyone to come and check out all of the giraffes here, including this big guy right here.
Slobber aside.
Those are long tongues. You know, my mom was just texting me, feeding the giraffes is the top of her list. So, Mom, next time we're at the zoo, I promise I'll take you to do it.
You got to bring her.
So much fun. Okay, Joe, we'll see you in just a bit. Thank you for that.
Well, as you walk around the zoo these days, you see how it's helping animals all around the world. That's what the zoo does. But there are actually some animals the zoo is helping that you won't find here when you go on your visit.
Yeah, this is really interesting. The zoo is an active partner with the Atwater Prairie Chicken National Wildlife Refuge, and together they are helping rebuild the population of this critically endangered animal. Houston Life's Enrique Ramirez went to the refuge in Eagle Lake to get an inside look at the program.
All right, let's see if we can get eyes on these prairie chickens.
As the sun rises at the Atwater Prairie Chicken National Wildlife Refuge.
Let's see if I can locate them real quick. I just saw them a moment ago. They're a pretty good ways out there, unfortunately.
Refuge manager John Magera scans the prairie in hopes of spotting.
Okay, there's one there. There they are.
Lesser prairie chickens.
We've got some excitement going on this morning.
Sunrise is the best time to see these colorful birds on the booming ground. But what is a booming ground?
A booming ground is basically a mating area. It's an area on the prairie where the grass is low, and because these birds display, they need a spot where they can be seen.
And heard.
Booming is kind of the general term for that overall group of noises they make. And he's actively booming, so he's inflating his air sacs and making that booming noise, that low whistle that attracts the hens. There's a little cackling you'll hear.
A cackling that was almost completely silenced. The population of the lesser prairie chicken has been dwindling since the early 1800s. In 1990, there were less than 40 prairie chickens in the wild. With more and more prairie fields disappearing under housing and building development, the prairie chickens' booming grounds also vanished. But we aren't the only ones to blame.
The presence of fire ants combined with the loss of habitat just kind of led to the continued decline. We had 2 back-to-back 500-year floods, the Tax Day flood that a lot of people in this area will remember, and then right after that, Hurricane Harvey. We went all the way down to fewer than 30 birds in the wild following those 2 flood events.
Down, but not out. With help from the Houston Zoo, the prairie chickens' numbers are on the rise.
Well, the Houston Zoo has been a really important partner for us for a long time now. They have part of the captive flock of the Atwater prairie chickens. They've developed a lot of really creative breeding techniques that we use to make sure those birds are healthier and they're more abundant. So they do magnificent work. We're happy to have their expertise.
This morning, John and his team are building an acclimation pen. Now, when the prairie chickens come from the Houston Zoo, they'll actually stay here for about 2 weeks before they're released into the prairie.
It gives them a chance to acclimate to the prairie and gives us a chance to just make sure they're healthy and that they're ready for release.
John, you were telling me just a minute ago that this prairie chicken special. Why is that?
Yeah, so this is an unbanded bird. So we know that this bird was hatched here at the Refuge and has survived for the past year out here in the wild on its own. So if you see a bird out here that has bands, that's a bird that was hatched in captivity and it was released out here. But that one, that's a native bird, so that's exciting for us.
And that excitement is growing. Last spring, the Atwater Prairie Chicken Reserve saw its highest count in prairie chickens in 30 years.
So we have the tools, we have the knowledge. We just need Mother Nature to cooperate. This is what we do. We fight for the survival of every species to keep them here on this earth. This is our legacy that we're going to be leaving behind. So we do the best that we can as long as we can.
Well, the zoo's work to save the prairie chicken continues right here at the zoo behind the scenes. Actually, 69 Atwater prairie chickens were born at the zoo and released to the wild just last year.
It is so fascinating how it all works, and special thanks to KPRC's Enrique Ramirez for that story. Well, of course, we've mentioned it many, many times. Our favorite part is getting up close and personal with these animals. We've gotten to meet so many of them from all around the zoo today.
That's right. Natalie Jones is back with what looks like a hedgehog.
Yeah, so her name is Violet. She's actually a lesser hedgehog tenric. So she's not a tenric, she's not a hedgehog, sorry, she's a tenric. They look exactly like hedgehogs, that's why they're called hedgehog tenrics. Just because she has all the spikes on her to keep her safe in the wild.
Oh.
So they're originally from Madagascar.
Oh, so are they pets, or can you domesticate one of these guys?
So some people do keep them as pets. I wouldn't recommend it. They are insectivores. They have really large, canine teeth. Ooh. So they do typically get a little aggressive when they're around their food. That's why I wear the glove, just in case she climbs up here.
Okay.
And it's just because in the wild, they'd have to fight for their food against all the other things that want to eat too.
Yeah, of course. We understand. It's okay, girlfriend. We're not judging you. Listen, she's fully grown. Does she even weigh a pound? What is she, a pound and a half?
So she's really small. She weighs 100 grams.
Wow.
And Violet here is actually 11 years old. Today is her birthday, so she's got her little birthday cake in there she's munching on.
Looks like birthday worms.
Birthday worms, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, that is the most disgusting birthday cake I have ever seen, but I'm glad she's enjoying it. Happy 11th birthday. She really is a cutie.
She's adorable. She's one of our favorites.
Don't show it to my kids because they're going to ask me for one when they get home.
Uh-oh. Mom, we want a hedgehog. Natalie Jones, it's great to see you, and the fun will continue with you and some more animals in just a bit. When we come back, Mr. Pickles will join us, but here's the catch. You've got to stick around to find out who Mr. Pickles actually is.
I just love that name. And our Lauren Kelly is out with the Galapagos sea turtles, tortoises. Lauren.
You guys, I think I found what I want for my next pet. Look at how cute these guys are, and they're only about half grown. We're feeding them some lettuce. We're gonna get all the details on these beautiful babies. That is when Houston Life returns as we celebrate the Houston Zoo's 100th birthday. Hi.
Welcome back to a very special zoo edition of Houston Life. I'm Derek Shore along with Chow Win, who is in for Courtney today. And so far, we're having a lot of fun today at the zoo, celebrating its 100th birthday.
That's right, top of the 3:30 half hour, and we are exploring the zoo and all that it's done over the last 100 years, 1922.
It really is incredible, all the work done not only in Houston but beyond. Lauren Kelly is live with the Galapagos Tortoise. And Lauren, I understand it is lunchtime for this little one.
You know, Derek and Chow, what I learned is that these guys eat and graze all day long. Currently, what they're eating is a bunch of lettuce. We find that lettuce is a very common thing that a lot of the animals here at the zoo like to eat. And also, they have hay out all day long. Melissa Hodges, you are the herpetology keeper. And who do we have out here today?
So we have different kinds of tortoises. These two right here, these are the Galapagos tortoises. These are Seymour and Daphne are females. And then over there, we have Jervis, our male. Then these two right here, these are the African Spur tortoises, Bobby and Bubbles. And then this little one right here, this is Mrs. Pickles.
I love that you remember all of your kids' names. I'm just going to kind of come over here because like you told us earlier, they love the colors green, red, and orange. So they've been eating the lettuce and you can basically control where they are because they absolutely love it so much.
Yes, the lettuce is biggest treat for them. They primarily do eat hay, but love all kinds of greens, hibiscus, cacti, all that kind of stuff.
And so these two over here, I asked if they were fully grown, and they're not.
They are not. So these guys are about 14 years old. They weigh like 150-ish. They can get up to 500, live well over...
Like triple the size they are.
Live well over 100 years. So they're still growing. I would say they're little.
And what about the kind of neutral colored one? What kind is that?
So these are the African Spur tortoises. These guys are about 34 years old. I would say they weigh about like 75 pounds, but they'll stay that size pretty much. They can get a little bit bigger.
And I have to have Chris demonstrate how they love to be scratched on their neck. It's like they're little puppies. Why do they enjoy that so much?
So it's something that they do in the wild. They do that so the finches will land on their necks and actually just pick off bugs, parasites. It's called like a finch reaction.
And they can stay like that the whole day.
Statues, literally. Oh yeah.
Well, you mentioned Mrs. Pickles right here. She's very special because she is married to Mr. Pickles, right?
Mr. Pickles, yeah.
And Mr. Pickles, I believe Derek and Chow is who you guys have on set with you now. Don't worry, Miss Pickles, your husband is coming back soon, I promise.
We separated them only for a short amount of time, Lauren. Do not worry. Thanks for that out there. It's great to see Mrs. Pickles. And yeah, you're right. During your live hit just now, Mr. Pickles moseyed on over to our side of town.
Maybe he was just a little jealous and he wanted to check out the action. Well, Natalie Jones is back to see who moseyed on in.
Hi, so this is Mr. Pickles. He is a radiated tortoise. So Mr. Pickles is the oldest animal here at the Houston Zoo. He's going to be 90 in July.
Wow. And this is typical, right, Natalie? I mean, tortoises live a very long life, usually around 100 years. Is that right?
Yeah, so tortoises can live up to 100 years, sometimes even over. So a lot of people, when they get them as pets, have to put them into their will because they outlived the people.
I never thought about that. Mr. Pickles, you've still got some time left.
Yeah, Mr. Pickles is way older than most of us.
It's interesting, too, Natalie, when he moseyed on in, he moves rather quickly. I mean, a lot of people just assume tortoises are pretty slow, but if he wants to, he can move very fast.
So tortoises are known for being pretty slow, but occasionally they do get that speed up when they're moving away from predators, but also I see our tortoises regularly get their speed up when they're moving towards food.
And were you there for the matrimony of Mr. and Mrs. Pickles?
I was not. I was unfortunately not available to attend that.
You know, it's interesting to watch him because he's so curious, and you can tell his eyes are looking right at you. I mean, there's someone in there.
Yeah, tortoises are very smart. So we use some puzzle feeder enrichment for some of our tortoises, and they really like it, and they're able to figure it out pretty quickly. We also train our tortoises in the ambassador building to like kennel and target and things like that. So
kennel and target, training them in the mind and the body, right?
Yeah.
Who knew tortoises can be trained? All right, Natalie Jones, thank you for introducing us to Mr. Pickles, and we'll let him soon reunite with his beloved Mrs. Pickles. Natalie, we'll see you in just a bit.
We'll see you in a minute.
All right, Chow, what do you say we send things back to KPRC to Studio A to check in with Keith, Christine, and Justin for a look at what they are working on for the news at 4 o'clock. Hi, friends.
Hey, Derek. Hey, Chow. Yeah, you know, the tortoise is a lot like me. They move a lot faster when food is involved.
Yeah. I also love when
animals are named after food.
Yes.
It's so cute. 90 years old, man. He's looking real good for 90.
Oh, man. I'll have what he's having.
Yeah, right?
Seriously, probably a lot of
See, this is what people don't
Yeah.
think. Mr. Pickles used those under eye patches every day, Keith.
Smart, yes. And I think I need more than lettuce anyway, but.
Yeah, so it's a beautiful afternoon out there for them.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, gorgeous afternoon at the zoo. Should be fine for tomorrow evening as well, as they're having their big celebration. I don't think it'll be much of an issue. It's going to be warm. Be ready for that. These temperatures that are all still in the mid and low 80s as you get a little closer to the coast, but it is muggy for sure. Those dew points have been rising over the last couple of days. 86, 86, 84, 86 out towards College Station right now as you get on down to the coast. Should be a nice weekend down to Galveston, although a little choppy in the water with that strong southeast push. We're seeing that again anywhere from 16, 15, 18, almost 20 miles an hour. Wind gusts have been upwards about 20 to 25. Not as bad as what we've seen last week, but still it is out there. Otherwise, we've got cloud cover moving in. That's about it. Not much happening here, but we're going to be watching very carefully. We've got a storm system, and including all these new watch boxes for tornadoes that could be breaking out later on this evening. We'll keep a real close watch on that, but thankfully that will not head in our direction. We should be just fine. We'll keep the temperatures generally sitting in the 80s, 70s as we go towards tomorrow, guys. And of course, I've got the MS-150 forecast, Dash Dynamo, and a lot going on here this weekend as well. Should be a muggy, warm one, but it will be a nice one nonetheless. We'll get to that coming up at 4 o'clock.
All right, Justin, thank you, sir. We want to give you a look at some of the stories we're working on this afternoon. A tragic story from Northeast Harris County where a 16-year-old girl is dead after investigators say she was shot after being held captive by her mother's boyfriend. What we know about the victim and the man accused of taking her life.
Plus, you've probably heard of red light cameras, but what about school bus stop sign cameras? One local district is using them, but there are some questions about how they're being used, and at one point you should be given a ticket.
And a revolutionary way to help people who have difficulty hearing, the new technology offering them an alternative to traditional hearing aids. A lot of folks want to be watching for that one. So a lot of good stuff coming up at 4 o'clock, guys.
Yeah, but in the meantime, enjoy the afternoon out there. We're jealous.
Listen, we will enjoy it a whole lot more. You're here with us in spirit. How's that?
Yeah. Okay.
We'll take it, especially on a Friday.
All right, guys, we'll see you at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, when Houston Life returns, Chad, what do you say? Another animal friend maybe will join us live on set.
I love it. We're also going to be checking in with Joe at the Painted Dog exhibit.
Yeah,
hey, Joe.
that's cool.
Hey guys, that's right. So we're going to be checking out the African painted dogs. They're going to be doing an enrichment program training here, and you're going to get to see it live on camera. That's when Houston Life returns.
Welcome back to Houston Life as we celebrate the zoo's 100th anniversary and its birthday. Jackie Wallace is back with us for a challenge, I see.
And this challenge is kind of alarming for us because we have only a minute to do it. But these are the birdhouses, essentially, that people will be able to try their hand at tomorrow.
Yes. Tomorrow, all day, we will be teaching kids how to make these birdhouses that they can then take home, put in their backyard or on their patio, and attract some birds.
But they won't do it in a minute, like we were going to try.
No, they have longer, but you're adults, right?
Yes. Last I checked, questionable, Jackie. I'm not sure about that. Okay, so tell us how this is going to work. I understand we actually have 2 minutes we're going to put on the clock to try to build these.
That's right.
What are our instructions?
Do it.
Oh, goodness. Oh, boy.
I took away the instructions. Are you ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
On your mark, get set, go.
Okay. I'll put this microphone down.
Okay, now next time we do this, I will put a cover over it because while we were in break, they were looking at how to build it. So I have high expectations that they are going to be able to do this. Also going on in the Lone Star tent, which is where you will find this craft going on with our facilities team. Look at getting a hammer done. Is where we will do our cookie giveaway as well. Michael's Cookie Jar has made these very amazing cookies that the winner of this challenge will get to take home.
I love Michael's Cookie Jar.
Yeah, they are really good, really good. Now, how are you feeling about
I'm not doing well. I just jammed my finger. Okay.
Don't hit your finger. This is a safety. Yes, you've got this. You can do this. We are at right about a minute 10 to go. If kids can do this, I am confident in the two of you that you will be able to do this.
No. No, I can't even get one in. Oh my gosh.
Yes. So our facilities team, we asked all of our staff members to contribute to the party, and our facilities team came up with this idea, and they will be in the Lone Star tent helping kids build these. Yeah, look, you got the front on. That's really good. That's where the bird will perch. Oh,
Okay,
we're coming it together.
that just
Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh, I broke it.
Gotta get the
We've got
idea
30
here too.
seconds left. Some of the other activities that people will be able to do tomorrow at the Houston Zoo is Reverend Butter is coming out, and he's an ice carver, and he has 2 demonstrations where he takes giant blocks of ice and carves them using chainsaws and picks and all kinds of things, and kids really get to watch, and he'll use the chainsaw to really buzz out the ice and cool off the crowd.
Okay, here's what it's gonna look
Oh boy, 4, 3,
Please tell me the
2,
chainsaw is not the next challenge. We will be attempting.
Oh boy.
I couldn't even get one nail in.
I mean, on a
couldn't even get
scale of 1 to
nail.
10, I would call us successful, Chow.
So I'm gonna judge and decide. Because he put the perch in, Derek is the big winner.
The big winner.
So
Thank you
here
so much.
are your cookies.
Thank you, Jackie Wallace. That is a delight. Chowin, listen,
my
I'm not going to walk away with a cookie.
Oh, we'll share it.
I'm going to give you my cookie. Thank you
Oh,
so
sure.
much, Jackie. That was great.
I'm
A little bit
sweating.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
But it is a super fun activity, and I love that people can take it home and attract some wildlife to the backyard.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Jackie, we'll see you in just a bit. But first, why don't we check in with Joe Sam, who's been hanging out with some brand new friends. Joe Sam, how's it going?
It is going amazing, Derek. So right now we're talking about the African painted dog. I have Paul here with us, our carnivore keeper here at the Houston Zoo. Now, Paul, they've been really hungry. They've been ready to eat, right?
Yeah, they are ready to go.
So before we get into all the information about these amazing dogs, how about we let them eat? You ready?
Yeah.
In 3, 2, 1, let them run! Here they come, you guys. They've been really excited about this. This is one of the, look at, here they are. Oh, yeah, this is one of the enrichment programs that you guys have going on here. Tell us what they're doing right now.
Yeah, so what we have right now are 4 male African painted dogs. We have Wiki, Tamu, Rafiki, and Moto, and they are jumping for their rib bones that we gave them today for our enrichment activity. You can see there's not only ribs in here and there, but they're also grabbing some branches and sticks. They're so used to doing stuff like this that we want to try and make it a little bit more difficult, change it up, make it more complex so that, you know, it's different and engaging, and they're really thinking about what they're doing.
And they're really getting their exercise in, too.
They really are. I mean, you can see how well they can jump, and we normally can make this go even higher, and you can see them going up for it. They'll even take turns. So Tamu tends to be the one, and right now we have Moto jumping, but Tamu's normally the one. He can jump almost up to about 5-6 feet up into the air.
This is really cool. So tell us some of the other special things about these African painted dogs. What's one cool fact that people would love to know about them besides they're really hungry?
So yeah, I mean, you can hear them right now. All those vocalizations, they're like chirps. This is how they communicate, how they can work together just to be able to take down some prey. So it's really awesome to see that in a zoo setting, which is something they would do out in the wild.
And I know you're excited about celebrating 100 years here at the zoo, especially being able to take care of these amazing African painted dogs along with all the other great animals here.
We sure are. We're so happy to have 100 years here, and we're looking forward to tomorrow where we're doing our birthday thing.
Absolutely. This was really exciting. Paul, thanks for all of that amazing information. A lot of enrichment programs they have here, not only for the African painted dogs, but for a lot of the other animals too, and you'll be able to learn that about it when you come here to the Houston Zoo celebrating 100 years. Derek and Child, we're going to go and check them out as they continue to eat their ribs.
Okay, Joe, that sounds good. It's so interesting watching them play and run around, Joe. Thanks so much for that. Moving now from African painted dogs to an animal that is native to Australia, Chow.
That is so cool. Zookeeper Natalie Jones back with Amy and Megan for some dogs that are dogs, but dingoes, right?
Yeah, so this is Mawson and Tingora. They are our dingoes. So they're kind of like Australian wild dogs in the same way that painted dogs are like African wild dogs. So they do have a bit different tendencies than regular dogs. Our Australian dingoes can actually turn their heads way further. So they can almost turn all the way around and look behind them.
Oh my gosh.
They can also open up their jaw way further. So Mawson is our lighter colored dingo, and he can actually open his jaw wide enough to fit Ting's whole head in his mouth when they're playing.
Oh dear. Okay, well, that is really something. And what's interesting, Natalie, about these dingoes is if I saw someone just walking these down the street, I would assume they're just regular dogs.
Yeah, can you domesticate them?
So they're not really domesticated. Occasionally in Australia, they do breed with like domestic dogs, and people kind of keep the like half and half. They do have several different tendencies than dogs. They're a little more destructive, so we don't always recommend keeping them in your house because they do like to destroy things. Our dingoes dig holes like constantly. We fill them in almost every day. So they can be a little destructive to be at home.
Well, and also, weren't you saying that it would sort of be like the equivalent of having like a wolf at home as a pet? I mean, these are not pets. These are wild animals.
Right, they're wild animals. So they're not quite as aggressive or as big as wolves, but they do have a lot of tendencies that wild animals would have. They have very high prey drives and things like that.
Oh, they look so cute, and they look so happy with Amy and Megan. What is their lifespan?
So their lifespan is going to be about 12 to 15 years, kind of similar to a dog. So our dingoes are 10 years old right now.
And they're friends?
Yeah, they're actually brother and sister. So we got them from the same zoo at the exact same time. They've never been apart. So whenever we have to separate them for things, it's like a full meltdown, just like you wouldn't want to be separated from your family. So we try not to separate them. That's why they're here together, because they really love being together or with people.
That is so, so sweet. Well, thanks to the dingoes, Amy and Megan and Natalie, thank you so much. Who knew?
I
We got
know.
to meet a dingo.
I know. Not a dog, a dingo.
Not a dog, a dingo. All right, when Houston Life comes back, it is time to spin our Houston Life prize wheel. It's a moment we have all been waiting for, and if you look closely, Chow, there are some new additions to the wheel. Today's insider could win a family zoo membership.
And that is so cool. I love that membership. And later, they are tiny and adorable. We're going to meet the babies currently at the zoo. Oh my gosh, I love babies. Houston Life, we'll be right back. And you're taking a live look at one of my favorite exhibits, the Sea Lion exhibit, not far from where we are. It's a beautiful day to be at the zoo celebrating the 100-year anniversary. About to get even better for one lucky viewer as we spin the Houston Life prize wheel.
Yeah, the Houston Life prize wheel, this is one of our most popular segments. Every single week we give away prizes like gift cards, even $1,000. And today, Chow, very exciting, we have added a brand new prize to the wheel, a family zoo membership good for 1 year.
That's right, and today we're going to spin for Mark Alvarez from Pearland, who's joining us live via Zoom from the road.
Wow, Mark, okay, tell us where you're headed today. I see you got your Astros cap on.
Yeah, we're away out there to be out there for the weekend, and then we'll be headed back to Houston.
Okay. Very, very nice, Mark. Well, what do you say? Chow, do you want to do the honors?
Yeah,
Give it a nice big spin?
I feel like I'm on the Price is Right. I'm going to spin really hard. Ready to go?
Okay, let's do this, Mark. We hope you win big. Everybody is a winner. We do have some spin again spaces, one blank space, but all kinds of great
Oh my
things.
gosh, getting close, getting close.
Including Ramses the Great and the Gold of the Pharaohs. This is a fantastic experience for you and your family to enjoy. Mark, congratulations. How do you feel?
Awesome, I feel great. Thank you.
All right, congrats, Mark, and safe travels to our viewers. If you would like your chance to spin and win live on the show, all you have to do is join our KPRC2 Insider program. Just scan that QR code on your screen or visit clicktohouston.com/insider to sign up. And this, again, is totally, totally free.
I know, that is so exciting. Now, perhaps for one of our favorite segments, the Zoo Babies.
The zoo babies. I know, we can't get enough. So the zoo has a long history, Chow, of raising baby animals, even hand-rearing them when it is totally necessary. Look how adorable these photos are.
Love it, love it. Here are some of the babies at the zoo right now. We've got 2 baby elephants. They are swimming. One just turned 1. They joined a crew of little ones. There are now 5 elephants under the age of 5. So we have like elephant toddlers at the zoo.
Oh my gosh, and it's so cute. They play like siblings. 2 baby capybaras were just born last week, and the capybara, they are adorable. They get a little bigger than you think. Also, look at this tiny Goldies. So it's a tiny Goldies monkey Look closely at that. That is a tiny Goldie's monkey. Her name is Betty.
Next to the toothpick brush.
Yeah, she is one of the smallest Goldie's monkey ever to be hand-raised at an accredited zoo. She has been reintroduced to her mom, and the great news for all of us, we can all now see Betty and her whole family in the primate exhibit. Can you believe that?
So much to do and see at the zoo, and a big party tomorrow. I mean, we are looking at so many fun things here at the zoo. People have to come out.
They sure do. All right, after the break, a look at what's coming up on Monday's show, including a very special treat for Mom.
Ooh, I'm a mom. Houston Life will be right back.
Coming up Monday on Houston Life, are you and your kids ready for Teacher Appreciation Week? We've got 3 easy DIY crafts that your teacher will love. Plus, we are kicking off Mother's Week ahead of Mother's Day with Broadway star Ben Chavez. He'll be performing live on the show. And in the meantime, back now live out of the zoo for its 100th anniversary.
Yes.
How about a toast, Joe?
Yes,
Lauren,
cheers.
Cheers to all of you.
My favorite part.
Thank you all so much for joining us today. And remember, the big celebration is happening tomorrow. You can get your tickets online at houstonzoo.org. Chow Wen, thanks so much for joining us today.
It's been so much fun.
It's been fantastic. Drink up. We're going to send it on over to Keith and Christine in Studio A.
Y'all are living our best life. Enjoy.
Nothing like a Zoo Friday.
I know, very good.